Hi guys, it's Alyssa and welcome back to my channel. So I am all dressed up in a way that you guys probably don't like, because normally when I wear lipstick like this you guys tell me you don't like it, but to do a Lilith and the Signs video, which I know is my most requested video, and because I know it's Mercury retrograde and most people have kind of been aware, like I like making videos around Mercury retrograde and then I sort of disappear. So it's just a thing. I have the creative impulse. I like to talk to you guys during this time. I feel like I can get my inside out, and so I've been using it. So I'm gonna make sure that you get that Lilith in the Signs video. But what I wanted to bring up first was that there are good things about Eve and Lilith. And the reason why is because they both come from Eden. And if Eden is divine feminine, then of course they both come from it. Now I think it's very funny, I've sort of been, like, men mostly, which is weird, but I feel like even women have felt this, like, why am I talking about the Bible? Like, why am I on such a religious freaking kick? And the reason being is because Lilith is from Jewish mythology and folklore. She's mentioned in the Bible. I can't go Greek mythology with that here for you guys. I have to go to the Bible. You have to go to the roots of the Bible. You have to. If you don't fully understand Lilith. And so Lilith is so powerful, and everybody really cares about Lilith right now, yet they don't want to go to the Bible. And that is sort of stupid. So don't be stupid. Understand why I'm coming from here. And yeah, I love talking about Greek mythology. I like talking about other religions. I am all for it. I don't have I didn't go through some like strange religious spiritual conversion away from astrology. I'm like the same person, but my understanding that you can't just go round and round in astrology your whole life, there's something more to it, is what has caused me to do more of these types of videos, because I feel like it's what you need. You don't need to know each thing in the signs, plus everybody else is doing those videos. So with that long introduction, I want to kind of explain to you why Eve and Lilith both have their positive attributes based on the divine feminine, because they are taken from Eden, which is perfection. Eden is perfection, utopia, woman, life, okay? Eve was taken from man, who was taken from Eden. So she is still made of Eden, but through man. And Lilith was taken straight from Eden, okay? The idea here is that each one of them put what Eden gave them into, their body and sort of ran with it. And so I did see a comment that said some women are daughters of Eve, some women are daughters of Lilith, and I have to go against that, because in my lifetime I've been both an Eve and a Lilith, like back and forth. I go back and forth, and what that actually has done is shifted my body back and forth a lot, because of the way that Lilith is mental and Eve is root. Okay, so obviously I've had children, I've nurtured them, I've given them all of my Eve, and then when I've done, I invented my channel, like, I didn't have children, I was being very Lilithy about that. Another big thing is that Lilith is very career driven, very 10th house driven, and and Eve is very 4th house driven and very family driven. And neither of those are bad. The thing that's bad about one without the other, though, is that it's not balanced. And because it's not balanced, it's always looking for its other half. It's looking for the thing to balance it. And I want women to be self-contained properties, and I want women to balance themselves. You shouldn't be balanced by a man. You shouldn't be balanced by a career. You shouldn't be balanced by positive thinking or negative thinking. You shouldn't be balanced by anything other than you. And how you do that is you balance your head with your root. You understand that you do have nurturing capabilities, because you were born, if you're Lilith, you understand you were born with a root, and you learn about it. You don't put all your emphasis on your head when you know you have another part of your body you're leaving behind. Once you find yourself in that other part of your body, you're balanced and you're no longer unhappy. And it's the same for an Eve type woman. Once she finds her head and her logic, she's no longer just an emotional wreck. She is balanced. And so that's what creates divine feminine. It's neither like choosing one or the other to be like because you feel like you are represented. Lilith ends up being very shallow, and Eve ends up being torn apart by how deep she has to go and how she doesn't get to be shallow. And these things, they hurt a woman because a woman's not meant to be like that. But if we think about why Eve came from man who came from Eden, see, Eden itself has a lot of logic, holds the tree of knowledge, right? And so the dust, the dirt created, you know, the tree of knowledge. So this why Adam is logical and he's mental, and that's what makes him man in that way. And Lilith is the same because she also was taken straight from that dirt. Now, in order to make a child, you have to have male energy within you, okay? And so that's why she can still be from Eden, Eve can, but she goes through a man to inject her with that nurturing capability, that baby, okay? So that's why Eve is taken from the man, so that she can have a baby. So if you aren't that, like, so basically Eve is just kind of born without being able to access that part of her head, but it doesn't mean it's not there. It just means that because the man took it, her balance is within a man, and so she can take it back. And then, because Lilith comes straight from the dust and she doesn't have a man and she doesn't want one, she doesn't need one to tell her that she's actually female. She just needs to understand her root and to root herself consistently to make sure she takes care of her body and her nurturing capabilities, instead of saying, oh, I'm just not that type of person that nurtures and I don't like that kind of ability. You're losing part of your body to that, and that's when you become a rose that's been cut and planted in a vase. You're no longer rooted. You're no longer understanding your body's chemistry and your makeup, and that sort of that need for love that also comes with your body, even if you're neglecting it or refusing to understand it. And so there's a big part of each other that Eve and Lilith, they need in each other, but they fight because they want to be right. That Eve wants to be right about her root, and she is, and Lilith wants to be right about her mind, and she is, but they are not both. And you see, that's what makes Eden so divine, is that she's able to create without a man. I mean, all of Eden was already made beautiful, but she could not make people without God. God created the people from her. It means he planted his seed and out came people. But the flowers and the living life still was in Eden. That was her life. And so I think that's like the most important thing for you to remember when you think about like who you could be and how you could be happy as a female that is one or the other. It's not about being proud of what you already have. It's about searching for what you don't. And that's really the biggest deal here. Anyway, thanks.